Okay, what up, ladies and gents? It's your favorite Asian robot right here. Hopefully, your favorite official content creator for the First Descendant. And today, Hotfix 1.2.8 just dropped. Okay, this one is supposed to be like a smaller patch, but it actually contains some really good stuff. Let me go through it with you. All right. In terms of content improvements, the first and most important thing that they've done for us is that we can now obtain more external components from the Void Colossi and even from the 400% missions. So for those of you still searching for your perfect Polar Knight set or perfect Annihilation set or perfect Slayer set, instead of getting 2 external component drops per kill, you are now going to get 8. All right, your farming is going to be 4 times faster than it was before. I tried it live on stream. It is absolutely amazing. I'll happily showcase this at a later time, all right, or in a separate short video or whatever. But the main thing is now you can get more external components faster to get the ideal rolls you need. They do not have the re-rolls in this patch, but that's okay. You can also get 4 sets of the ultimate tier external components assigned for each mission. So when you complete the 400%, you will get 4 sets of ultimate tier external components. Now, when it says 4 sets, I'm not sure if it means 4 components or 4 entire sets. Please do take note that this will be updated in a short video on my TikTok or YouTube channel, all right? Most likely TikTok, when I go and test it, because I didn't get a chance to test this earlier, but I am going to test it now that I see it says 4 sets, because that's pretty awesome. All right. Next, other than the external component change, which is fantastic, take note that some of the monsters spawned in stages 28 and 29 of the Void Erosion Purge have been changed. The passage range spawning chance of Abomination monsters is greatly reduced, and the battle range spawning chance of Abominations has been completely eliminated. Does this make these stages easier? Honestly, yes. They seemed easier when I tried them out, so do try them again if you're struggling. All right. Weapons and modules. Now, they fixed an issue where the visual effect of the restored relic cluster round trajectories blocked our sights. They've also improved the firearm attribute attack to increase according to weak point damage upon successful weak point attacks. What does this statement mean? Did you know that in the past, whenever you put an element onto your weapon, right, it would only be multiplied by critical hits? It would not actually be multiplied by weak spot damage. So whether you hit a weak spot or not, your attribute damage, attribute meaning like fire, electric, chill, whatever, would not actually be multiplied by the weak spot multiplier. This has now changed, which is absolutely insane. It means that now the weak spot multiplier carries over to elemental damage, which can seriously up your damage with very precise weapons. Because now, for example, the last dagger, you slap an element on that helps it deal with the Order of Truth, you're going to kill them even faster than before, which is absolutely insane. Think of it this way, all right? My last dagger, right now, if we take a look at last dagger, let's just go in there. Where are you, last dagger? Somewhere around here. There we go. Okay, this thing has a weak spot multiplier of 1.6 base, right? Baseline multiplier. This means that for this particular weapon, now if I were to increase this with weak point sight, which would be absolutely amazing, I can deal even more. This multiplier right here is fantastic because with weak point sight, I can get it over 2 times, which means that after being multiplied by crits, if I'm hitting a weak spot, that's another multiplication of the damage, which overall makes you deal more. All right. So this is absolutely fantastic, and it's an absolutely perfect change. So I'm really, really happy with this one. This will help, and it applies in all game modes. All right. As far as I know, this does not apply only in the Void Erosion Purge. It applies everywhere, which means that for precise weapons, if you're striking the weak spot, you're going to dish out even more pain. Take note. All right. Some of the values of the groups of Descendant and Firearm modules have been changed. Basically, I will say that this has all been a buff of underused modules. If you want to read through them, you can in the patch notes. I'm just going to go through them really quickly. Lethal Infection has seen an increase to the skill power modifier. Hyperfocus has seen an overall increase in the duration of the the damage increasers. Last Stand has seen an increase, all right, in the amount of max shield that can be, well, in the increase in the damage based on your max shield, all right. Continuous Exaltation has seen a change in the number of stacks required, as well as the beneficial effects, okay. You get less cooldown and less skill power, but it only takes 3 stacks to use. Nobody's still going to use Continuous Exaltation, though. Technique Manual has seen a whopping massive increase. It used to be 46% of your own max HP dealt as damage to target. Now it's 460% of your own max hit points dealt as additional damage to the target. This will help certain builds that were using Technique Manual before, Flunny, for example. Okay, Preemptive Strike has been changed. On skill attack upon enemies with max hit points, you used to deal 8.5% of the skill damage incurred as additional damage on the target. Now you will deal 17% of the skill damage incurred as additional damage on the target. Okay, mid-air fire. The accuracy amount has been reduced, and the defense, which used to be a minus, is now plus. So for mid-air fire, while you're in mid-air, you get a defense bonus, but less accuracy. MP Plunder, they have changed it so that when you defeat an enemy with a charged sub-attack, you are guaranteed to recover MP. Same with HP Plunder, you are guaranteed to recover HP. Veterans Tactics, when defeating an enemy, reset the cooldown of a random skill at a chance of 19.4% with a cooldown of 5 seconds between effect triggers. Whereas Veteran Tactics previously had no cooldown and was a 2.1% chance. So this will trigger more often, but there's a cooldown of 5 seconds. Okay, for the firearm modules, all right, what they've done is that for hardline suppression, they've removed its grouping, and on a weak point hit, you have a 100% chance to knock down the target for impact rounds. For special rounds, it's a 22% chance. Same, they've removed the grouping. For Heat Incinerator, all right, they've done the same change across all round types. Here, they've removed the grouping for it, and they've also stated that when defeating enemies inflicted with burn, you will inflict burn on other enemies within 15 meters of the target. All right, all other stats remain the same. For Frigid Burn, which is specific to special rounds, hitting an enemy 3 times in a row with firearm attack from a distance of 20 meters or more deals 78% of chill attack as additional damage. Okay, so this only applies to special rounds. Quick Freezer is the same across all round types. They have removed the grouping, and when defeating enemies inflicted with Frostbite, inflict Frostbite on other enemies within 15 meters of the target for 0.8 seconds. Okay, for Venom Injector, they have removed the group, and basically this is all the same as the Heat Incinerator. So Quick Freezer, Venom Injector, all same as the Heat Incinerator. They've changed the radius from 8 meters down to up to 15 meters. Okay, for better weapon weight, where it used to be in the special mod group, now for general rounds and impact rounds, it has changed to the battle proficiency group, and it increases the weapon change speed. And when changing weapons, you get an increase in defense of 128.3 seconds, 3% for 15 seconds with a cooldown of 15 seconds. Last time it was for 5 seconds with a cooldown of 15 seconds. So this will now last as long as it's cooldown, so you can practically always have this if you need the additional defense. For Remote Generator, it's the same as Heat Incinerator, Quick Freezer, Venom Injector. 8 meters gone to 15 meters. All right, it inflicts electrocution within 15 meters. Brisk Walk. Previously, the move speed was 10% for 5 seconds. Now it's 24% for 10 seconds. Cooldown remains at 15 seconds. So for those that struggle to get out of the way of certain attacks, you can use Brisk Walk if you're not really using your gun. If your gun is a supplementary stat stick, you can use this to smoothly evade while still casting. All right, this is why we initially used Brisk Walk on Ines, but it's no longer necessary, of course. Now, external components have had their set effects changed for some sets. For the Bravery set, okay, the 2 set effect now just gives you max shield plus 11.8%, no more HP recovery. And for the 4 set effect, skill cost, instead of skill duration plus 6.6%, you will have skill cost minus 5.7%. And when defeating an enemy, there's a 20% chance of a random skill cooldown dropping by 1 second. Okay. For the active Volcano set, which is from Molten Fortress, they've improved the 4-piece effect. The handgun, hand cannon, shotgun attack is up. All right. Previously, it was standard across the board at 6.6%, but shotguns now gain slightly less at 5.2%, while handguns and hand cannons are at 10.3%. Okay. After reloading, your skill power will be plus 4.3% for 10 seconds up to 3 stacks. Okay. Previously, it was 3.5% for 5 seconds. Okay. And this effect was removed when using a skill. Now the effect is no longer removed. Okay. So take note of that. For the Invader set, all right, they have skill effect range plus 7.2%. And the 4-piece effect, so this previously it had max shield, now it's skill effect range. And for the 4-piece effect, when defeating an enemy, skill duration is increased by 2.7%. Duration is 30 seconds, up to 5 stacks of this. And it also gives you tech skill power modifier and dimension skill power modifier plus 4.1%, same as before. All right. The Frozen Heart. No more critical hit rate on sniper rifle, scout rifle. Instead, it's non-attribute skill power being increased. And I know it's really weird with the name Frozen Heart. They could have just called it like Colossus Heart or something. But anyway, the 4-piece set effect still has the skill cooldown of minus 4.7. And acquiring custom resource stacks Frozen Heart energy effect by 1. Okay? Cooldown is 3 seconds, up to 3 stacks. Once you have 3 stacks, Frozen Heart energy will also give you max shield plus 6.2% for 15 seconds. On skill attack by Frozen Heart energy with 3 stacks, enemies hit by the skill get Frozen Heart Essence state. The Frozen Heart Essence will increase their incoming damage modifier by 3% for 10 seconds. It's actually a relatively small change, and quite frankly, I don't think this is better than what it was before, but before it was about buffing allies, so I guess you could see some use of this with Kyle or for characters that gain custom resource stacks. But again, this seems like it was targeted at Kyle realistically because he gains custom resource. Oh, I guess, and Ajax too. But yeah, and it does improve max shield as well, so that's another thing. I guess you could do a bit more with Kyle, you know, and hit him a bit harder. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Okay, for the Hungry Sonic set, you've got the MP heal modifier plus 12%, and this was previously toxin resistance of 2.8%, which nobody ever used. Then for the 4-piece set effect, when using a skill, Efflux, you get 1 stack up to 5 stacks, duration is 20 seconds. It increases your max MP. So I believe that this was originally intended for Luna, and it should still be intended for Luna. When buffing allies, except for the player with Efflux, 5 stacks, recover the target's hit points. This has a cooldown of 10 seconds, but theoretically allows Luna to function as a little bit of a off healer in matches, so Yujin lost a bit more of his place there. Okay, for the Distorted Resolve set, they have modified only the 4-piece set effect, and what it does now is that it increases skill power by up to 14.3% based on the hit points lost relative to max hit points. Okay? Your skill power would be plus 14.3% when your current hit points is 1. Each time you inflict an enemy with a debuff, you have a 100% chance of recovering shield by 15%. That being said, this effect has a cooldown of 15 seconds. When using a skill, Exaltation, you will get 1 stack of it. It goes up to 5 stacks, duration is 15 seconds. On a skill attack with 5 stacks, fire the nearest enemy with a guided projectile. Alright, the cooldown on this is 7 seconds. Deal 4.5% of skill power as additional damage, inflicting desolation on the target. All attacks of the target is minus 0.5%, up to 5 stacks, duration is 30 seconds. I still think the effects are too minimal for me to bother with the set, but since it does recover shields, it does sound pretty cool. Maybe somebody will find a use for the Disordered Resolve, but I don't see a need for it right now. Okay? So there's that. Let's see. UI changes. The subcategory paint will be displayed first. Miscellaneous. This is important. You can now choose the option to display to eliminate the explosions of yourself as well as other players. So, I was waiting for a long time. My bad. I want to actually go in game and show you this setting, but you can actually just remove that explosion effect now. So previously, remember where it would say show only yourself? Okay, you don't have to worry about that now. Yeah, you can remove yourself as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Let me just go back to the patch notes while I load back into Albion. But you can choose to hide other players' titles. You can choose not to display your damage values on screen. The two most important things is the damage values, because some people didn't like numbers, and the explosive effects. I'm going to show you how to remove both of those. So what you got to do is you go to options, right? Under display settings says show explosion effect during combat. It's right here, okay? So again, I'll walk you through it. Options, display, scroll down, show explosion effect during combat. Previously, you used to have show only yourself. Now it's hide all targets. This actually makes it look like, when you're just firing the restored relic, it'll look like how you see other players fire it. Just the projectile and the clusters, that's it. And they seem to have toned down the brightness as well. Test it for yourself if you don't know, if you haven't seen it already. As for the other one, if you go under gameplay, right, and you scroll down, you can actually turn off your damage displays and all that, and this will stop showing you damage numbers on the enemy. If you like to see damage numbers, I would suggest keeping this on, display damage on screen. Otherwise, just turn it off. It will slightly improve frame rates for those of you that are struggling, but other than that, you're not going to see any other value from it. So for me personally, I don't have to worry too much about it, but this really works well. So there you go. Okay. Other than that, the scope of application of the following existing options was broadened. Handgun items can be added to the hide weapon on back option. Fellow names can be added to the hide nickname option. Okay. Let me take a look at this. Hide weapon on back, on, off. It's not showing me anything other than hide weapon on back. So I'm assuming it just means that it would hide my pistol, which is on my hip. So I think that that's what that means because there's no actual change to the option itself. So I think that that's what they're telling us. Okay, bug fixes. They fixed an issue where the commander would spawn even if you didn't defeat some monsters in stage 21, 24, 27. Descendants. They fixed an issue where the gold gain amount for the dismissal of Keelan, Ultimate Freyna, and Ultimate Sharon was less than intentional. Fixed an issue where the visual effects of Haley's cryogenic effect continued to be visible even after the duration, and there's a missing word, I think duration ended under certain conditions. Weapons and modules. Fixed the incorrect part of the description of Last Dagger's unique ability. They did mention this before. The effect was already applied correctly, but they just fixed the description. Steps effect duration display in the skill info window has been changed. Previously it was 20 seconds, now it's 30 seconds. They fixed an issue where Ancient Fire effect was being applied to restored relic cluster rounds. They fixed an issue where the cooldown of Continuous Exaltation module was not applied correctly. UI and UX. Fixed an issue where you could not restart from the result screen. Fixed an issue where the number of paint was not displayed on the confirm purchase screen. Fixed an issue where setting show only my fellow caused all fellows not to be displayed. Okay. Damn. Event operation. They've changed the rewards for completing Kate's experiment assistant daily operation 30 times. Please check the event info page for more detailed information. Okay. Okay, they've changed this here. Previously, it was the spawn. Now, a lot of people have actually questioned me about this, but there's nothing else displayed here. I'll give you my own take on it. I'm pretty sure the reason why they changed the spawn, which was in the rewards, is because if you go to the skins here, and I haven't bought this pack yet, but the Flutter spawn was in this pack, so I'm not sure if that is the reason why, because it was already in the premium pack, and they didn't want to, you know, like cause people who paid money to lose value, so that's why they changed it. Not so sure, but that's my guesstimate. Anyway, coming back to the rest of the patch notes, they fixed an issue where the color of certain slots appears dark on Iness's Oasis body skin, adjusted the color brightness of Iness's default body skin. Okay, you guys who are unhappy with this, you've got your change. Fixed an issue of unnatural placement of Luna's eyes when using an enhanced skill to the max gauge with the equipment of the Noise Surge module. Fixed an issue with the unnatural movement of the bang of Valby's Oasis party head skin. Who was tracking that? Adjusted so that when a fellow has reached the maximum carry limit for a specific consumable, the fellow will auto pick up other consumables. Great. Fixed an issue where fellow's dismantle function would fail occasionally. Great. So no more of that. Fixed the tooltip info to display the cooldown of random chance shield recovery effects in the 4-piece set effect of the distorted resolve external components. Okay, great. So that's the entire patch, guys. Let me know what you think about this, especially about the changes to external component farming, because I think this is the most major one. All right, and I'll look forward to testing the 400%. If you guys have results to share, share them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Catch you soon on stream because I am ready to go. All right, let's have some fun tonight.